Hey, it's adreN, and I'm going to be going over rotating. Someone requested it in the YouTube channel, so thanks to him. We're going to be going over rotating, when to rotate, without over-rotating and leaving a bomb site prone, but also not over-rotating too slowly so that a site is too easy to overcome. So I mean, it's very map-specific, situation-specific, whatnot for rotating, but we'll try going over the best we can, and one of the biggest points is bomb. Seeing the bomb on the radar and knowing for sure that you're able to rotate. So on Inferno here, if you're this balcony guy and they rush B, you're the very last guy to rotate. You almost don't bite at all and move out of your position at all unless it's 100% a B hit and you for sure see the bomb in the site. Because if he leaves his position and they happen to go out halls or something, that's when you're giving away all your position and they can actually take this A site a lot easier because they pulled you. So this guy never rotates unless it's 100% B. So bomb on the radar for sure is what this guy is looking for. This guy pretty much doesn't rotate at all either. He can kind of fill in this spot if the arch guy leaves. And this guy is the first guy to bite on a B rush. And the most important thing is communication here and saying that since he's leaving his spot, he needs to communicate that, hey, I'm leaving archway, this spot's going to be open. So the porch and apps guys have to understand that. So when he leaves, and I've played arch a lot, what I like to do when I rotate, and they could possibly already be through this main area, looking spawn, and even rotating through here, or if you get that call that they are, maybe flanking, I like to throw a flash from way back here, and then it pops, I just kind of run with it, and jump out and help as fast as I can. So, the arch guy is the first guy to rotate here, and he helps B. So yeah, bomb on the radar. So let's talk about rotating on, let's say a B guy dies here. So there's only one B guy. How do we fill in the spots, or how do we rotate then? And there's always a bunch of different setups that you can do, like 4-man setups after a guy dies, and what spots need filled, etc., etc. So here's one example. And for the guy that is alone at a site, holding it solo, he really doesn't want to be in a spot that he can die easily. He wants to be in a spot where he can spot, like listen, and just delay as much as he can for his teammates to rotate and help him out. So playing a spot like this isn't good because he can get one and then traded, or you can just instantly die, and then they have the site freely. They get the site, and there's no contention on getting the site. But if he's back here at Tri-Box, he can spot them and listen to him coming in. He could even flash, delay them himself enough for this guy spawn to even rotate in, help him out with these deep flashes here. So he kind of wants to play a spot role if you're a solo guy at site. So in that case, you could have one guy B. This is when we have a 4-man setup. We're trying to fill in all the spots here. You could have one guy spotting the archway here, and he's ready to help that B guy, like I said, right like that. And then these other guys can play a default A setup, like one guy site, one guy balcony, because it's like his arch guy is still alive because this guy still has eyes on it back there. So they won't have to worry about it at all until some kind of spot is called over there. So the main thing here is just knowing what's open and what needs to be filled in, and communication is key there, and even practice. And I'm going to go to Nuke here for some more examples on how to rotate. So on Nuke here, there's a lot of openings on the map if someone happens to die or give their spot. So there needs to be a lot of communication, and all of your teammates need to know exactly what they're doing and what they need to cover as soon as one of those situations happen. Just 1 second here as I restart. So let's say a guy outside dies, or that they just get into the secret area here. Someone needs to drop and make sure that this is covered so they can't get into the lower here or your back halls and go up your vents. So if they get in the secret area, they can get into a lot of your map, so you need to have a guy spotting this, at least spotting or trying to fight it. So if you're not like communicating and don't have specific moves on, let's say, that certain situation, a guy crosses outside, if both your upper guys drop, then obviously you're giving the upper site very easily if it's a fake. If they sent one guy just across secret and your outside guy couldn't call it because there's a ton of smokes here, you don't want to drop both down the secret and then give the upper. That's when it's just going to be giving too much. So you want to be communicating and know exactly what to do when these situations happen. So let's say they take that outside, like I said. The one upper guy, this is how we play. The one upper guy drops, and he can either, depending on how the map has been unfolding, he can drop and instantly just fight this guy, or he can come lower window side and maybe just play a spot roll from here or whatever. Could even spot like this, and he's just kind of spotting to make sure that they can't be flanking our ramp guys, etc. So that would be the situation there. So that one of the upper guys drops. And let's say this situation over here. The ramp guy dies or he drops lower. That means hell is now open in the heaven area. So someone's going to have to watch that. And you can rotate different ways. People can fill in different spots differently, but the important thing is that everyone knows what happens when that situation happens, and everyone fills in the correct roles. If you want to go into a turtle setup, you know, like, let's say they take ramp, and we're going to just give outside now. Our outside guy comes, and he plays this right here, so he's watching this area. So the ramp guy died, and we're going to need someone to drop lower because they always have ramp. So one of the two upper rifles drops, and he's like the lower guy. He can spot lower and let us know if they're coming in. So then the heaven rotate that's still alive here, that was supporting the ramp guy but died and then just had to give ramp, he will now fill in the spot for the upper guy that dropped for lower. So if they hit upper, it's like a default setup. We still have two here, so it's like we lost no one. We still have our hell and heaven watch from the outside guy, but then we need to know that our mini is open. So that's the weakness in that turtle setup, and it's just a risk that you have to deal with when you're down a man. So the weakness in this strat would be a mini split if these upper guys aren't prepared for it. But they can get in pretty good spots if one guy's even here or like this, and then you have a guy far vent. There's a lot of stuff like that's still a very good setup even with this weak point. Or you could do a setup where the outside guy stays, your heaven rotate simply just watches this, and then you still have just one upper and the one lower. So there's always a risk, and just the most important thing is that everyone knows what is open on like the risk. So I mean, just practicing the rotates, just getting experience on like where you should be when X situation happens, and that'll just come from playing a lot and just going through scrims and feeling out the rotates and just talking to your teammates so that next time you guys can make the right adjustment. So thanks for watching, guys. Follow me on my social media, just in the read more on the YouTube there, and thanks for watching. Bye.